6 strangers, Laura. And now you call that feeling alive?
3:30 in the morning, and I'm elbow deep in a garbage disposal that sounds like a dying walrus. The irony isn't lost on me. 24 years of marriage, and I'm still cleaning up other people's messes. My name's Dave Mitchell, and I'm a mechanical engineer who should know better than to stick his hand into spinning metal blades. But here we are. The kitchen light flickers overhead, casting shadows that make everything look like a crime scene. Which, considering what I'm about to overhear, might be more accurate than I thought. Mom, you're in marriage for 24 years. Stop being naive. My daughter Beth's voice carries from the living room, where she and my wife Laura are having one of their late-night bonding sessions. He 100% had a side chick at some point. You need to try it too. It'll make your woman energy powerful. Explore yourself. I freeze, my hand still wrapped around a chunk of something that might have once been a chicken bone. Laura's laugh is sharp, bitter, nothing like the woman I married. Beth, that's ridiculous. Your father's never... Mom, please. You need to try at least one exciting experience in your life. Something wild. I'll arrange us a trip. Great. Now my daughter's peddling infidelity as self-care. I extract my hands slowly, wiping grease on the dish towel while my world tilts sideways. Laura's voice drops to a whisper, but these old walls carry sound like a confessional booth. What kind of trip? Trust me, girls' weekend. Just us. No boring suburban mom routine, no fixing garbage disposals at 3 a.m. Real life, Mom. The kind you see in movies. I lean against the counter, feeling every one of my 47 years. The house creaks around us, a 1970s colonial that's seen better decades. Peeling wallpaper, carpet that's been shampooed too many times, windows that stick in their frames. Laura calls it character. I call it falling apart like everything else. My reflection stares back from the kitchen window, graying hair, stubble, crow's feet, that appeared sometime after Beth started college. When did I become the guy who gets up at 3 a.m. to fix appliances while his family plots escapes? Dave. Laura appears in the doorway, silk pajamas that cost more than my monthly gym membership. Her law firm salary buys nice things. My engineering job pays for everything else. Disposal's fixed. I dry my hands, not meeting her eyes. Good. Beth and I are planning a weekend trip. Mother-daughter time. Where to? She shrugs, but there's something calculated in the gesture. Atlantic City, maybe, or that new resort in the Poconos. Beth bounces in behind her, 22 years old and vibrating with the kind of energy that usually means trouble. It'll be epic, Dad. Mom needs to live a little. Live a little? I repeat the words like they taste bad. Right. Laura's phone buzzes. She glances at it, and something flickers across her face. Excitement. Maybe guilt. Hard to tell anymore. I should get some sleep, I say. Work tomorrow. Always work. Beth rolls her eyes. Dad, when's the last time you did something spontaneous? Something that wasn't about fixing broken stuff? I look around the kitchen, at the leaky faucet I've been meaning to replace, the cabinet door that hangs crooked, the linoleum that's curling at the edges. Everything in this house is broken or breaking, including us, apparently. Spontaneous isn't really my thing. No kidding, Beth mutters. I head upstairs, leaving them to their plotting. The bedroom feels like a mausoleum, matching furniture we picked out 15 years ago. Pictures of happier times, a bed that might as well have a line drawn down the middle. Laura slips in 20 minutes later, moving quietly like she's trying not to wake me. But I'm staring at the ceiling, listening to the house settle, thinking about garbage disposals and woman energy and 24 years of apparently being the kind of husband who drives his wife to seek excitement elsewhere. Dave, you awake? Yeah. About the trip. Have fun. She's quiet for a long moment. Then, it's not about you, you know. Sometimes a woman just needs to feel alive again. Sure. But as I lie there in the dark, I can't shake the feeling that it's about to become very much about me. Friday morning, I watch from the kitchen window as Laura loads her BMW with enough luggage for a month. Beth's already in the passenger seat, filming herself for whatever social media platform she's currently obsessed with. Just 2 days, Laura says, pecking my cheek like we're actors in a play about marriage. We'll be back Sunday night. Drive safe. She hesitates at the door. Dave, Have a good time, Laura, both of you. The BMW disappears down Maple Street, past Mrs. Langley's house where the curtains twitch with professional nosiness, past the Hendersons' place with their perfect lawn and their perfect marriage that probably isn't any more perfect than ours. I spend Saturday morning at the gym, a converted warehouse downtown where guys like me pretend we're still young enough to matter. The boxing bag takes a beating while I work through 24 years of accumulated frustration. "You're hitting that thing like it owes you money," says Vince Torino, sliding up beside me. Vince is my oldest friend, a retired cop who now runs a small private investigation business. He's got the kind of face that's seen everything twice and wasn't impressed the first time. "Marriage counseling," I grunt, throwing another combination. "Ah, Laura's still giving you grief?" "She's on a girl's weekend, finding herself or some such BS. Vince raises an eyebrow. "With Beth?" "With Beth, who apparently thinks I've been cheating for years and Laura needs to even the score." "Have you been cheating?" I stop punching. "Seriously?" "Just checking. In my line of work, you learn to ask the obvious questions first." "No, Vince, I haven't been cheating. I barely have time to cheat on my sleep schedule." He nods, studying my face with cop eyes. "Where'd they go?" "Atlantic City, maybe the Poconos. Why?" "Just curious. You want some free advice?" "Do I have a choice?" When a woman starts talking about finding herself, she's usually already found someone else to help with the search. I want to argue, but the words stick in my throat. Because deep down, in the place where I keep the thoughts I don't want to examine, I know he's probably right. Saturday night, I order pizza and watch a game I don't care about. The house feels too big and too quiet. I check my phone. No messages from Laura or Beth. Social media shows Beth posting stories from what looks like a hotel bar, but the location tags are vague. Sunday morning brings rain and a hangover I didn't earn. I'm fixing the leaky faucet when my phone rings. "Dad?" Beth's voice is shaky, wrong. "What's up, kiddo?" "We need you to come get us. Something happened." My blood turns to ice water. "Where are you? Are you hurt?" "We're at Mercy General Hospital in Camden. Dad, just come, okay? And don't ask questions." The drive to Camden takes 45 minutes through Sunday traffic and my own rising panic. Mercy General squats in a neighborhood that gentrification forgot, all cracked concrete and chain-link optimism. I find Beth in the ER waiting room, looking younger than her 22 years. Her party clothes are wrinkled, makeup smeared, and there's something in her eyes I've never seen before. Fear mixed with shame. "Where's your mother?" "They're running tests. Dad, we were just having fun, and then..." "What kind of tests?" She won't meet my eyes. "The doctor said something about contamination, food poisoning, maybe." But the way she says it, the way she fidgets with her phone tells me it's not food poisoning. A nurse appears, middle-aged, tired, the kind of professional sympathy that's seen too much. "Mr. Mitchell, your wife is asking for you." Laura looks like hell. Hospital gown, IV drip, skin the color of old newspaper. But it's her eyes that stop me cold, guilty and defiant at the same time. "Dave, thank God, this is all a misunderstanding." "What happened?" "We went to this party and someone must have spiked the drinks. I woke up feeling awful and Beth found me..." "What party?" Laura and Beth exchange a look, the kind of look that says there's a story they've rehearsed. "Just some people we met," Beth says quickly. "At the hotel bar, they seem nice." The doctor appears, young, harried, holding a clipboard like a shield. "Mr. Mitchell, I'm Dr. Patel. We've run some tests on your wife. She's going to be fine, but there are some things we need to discuss." "What kind of things?" "Privately, if possible." Beth suddenly finds her phone fascinating. Laura stares at the ceiling like it holds the secrets of the universe. In the hallway, Dr. Patel's professional mask slips slightly. "Your wife is tested positive for several sexually transmitted infections. Nothing life-threatening, but she'll need treatment. And," he pauses, "she's pregnant." The world tilts. "Pregnant?" "About 6 weeks, we estimate. Given the infections, we recommend genetic testing to ensure the baby's health." I lean against the wall, feeling like I've been punched in the gut by a heavyweight champion. 6 weeks. "Mr. Mitchell, are you all right?" "Fine, just processing." Back in Laura's room, she's sitting up, color returning to her cheeks. Beth hovers nearby like a guilty conscience. "The doctor told me," I say quietly. Laura's face crumples. "Dave, I can explain." "Can you?" "It was just supposed to be fun. Beth said I needed to live a little, and we met these guys, and they were charming, and I felt alive again. Guys, plural." The silence stretches like a rubber band about to snap. How many, Laura? It doesn't matter. How many? Beth speaks up, voice barely a whisper. There were a lot of people at the party. I look at my daughter, my little girl who used to beg me to read her bedtime stories, and see a stranger. Someone who encouraged her mother to cheat, who filmed it happening, who's probably already planning how to spin this for social media sympathy. I need some air, I say. In the parking lot, I call Vince. Dave, how'd the weekend go? I need a favor. Name it. I need you to find out everything you can about a party in Camden this weekend. Hotel, guest list, security footage if it exists. Jesus, Dave, what happened? My wife and daughter decided to explore their options. Now Laura's pregnant and infected, and I'm pretty sure they're lying about the details. Vince is quiet for a moment. You want to know how deep this goes? I want to know everything. This is going to cost you, buddy. Not just money, peace of mind. I'm pretty sure my peace of mind just died in that hospital room. All right, give me 48 hours. I hang up and stare at the Camden skyline, smokestacks and broken dreams under a gray sky. 24 years of marriage, and it comes down to this. Standing in a hospital parking lot, planning to investigate my own family like they're criminals. Maybe they are. Monday morning, I call in sick to work for the first time in 3 years. Laura's home, moving carefully, taking pills that rattle in their bottles like dice in a cup. Beth's locked in her room, probably crafting her social media narrative. The house feels like a crime scene. I'm in my home office, a converted bedroom filled with engineering manuals and broken electronics I keep meaning to fix, when Vince calls. You sitting down? Should I be? Your wife and daughter checked into the Paradise Inn on Saturday afternoon. It's not exactly the Ritz, Dave. Think hourly rates and questionable hygiene standards. My stomach drops. Go on. They attended what the locals call a lifestyle party in the hotel's conference room. I've got security footage showing them arriving around 8 p.m. Saturday. They didn't leave until Sunday morning, and they weren't alone. How not alone? Dave, you sure you want the details? I close my eyes. All of them. Best I can count from the footage, your wife was intimate with at least 6 different men. Beth was with 3, maybe 4. There were pills involved. Nothing hard, mostly party stuff. Ecstasy, maybe some cocaine. The room spins. Jesus Christ. It gets worse. This wasn't their first time. Hotel records show they've been there twice before over the past month. Different names, but same credit card. What credit card? Joint account. Your money, Dave. I lean back in my chair, staring at the ceiling where a water stain looks like a map of nowhere. Anything else? Yeah, one of the guys Laura was with goes by Rico. He's got a record. Nothing violent, but he's been arrested for running escort services. And Dave, he's not clean. Word is he's got a cocktail of STDs that would make a medical textbook blush. You're telling me my wife knowingly? I'm telling you, your wife and daughter walked into a situation that was designed to be exactly what it was. This wasn't some innocent party that got out of hand. This was planned. After I hang up, I sit in the silence for a long time. The house creaks around me, full of memories that feel poison now. Every family photo, every shared moment, every time I thought we were happy, all of it contaminated by the knowledge that my wife was planning her escape from our life together. And Beth helped her do it. Laura appears in the doorway, wearing one of my old college sweatshirts. She looks small, vulnerable, like the woman I married 24 years ago. Dave, we need to talk. Do we? She sits in the chair across from my desk, the one where Beth used to sit when I helped her with homework. I know you're angry. Angry doesn't begin to cover it. It wasn't supposed to happen like this. Beth just wanted me to feel attractive again, to remember what it was like to be desired. So, you screwed 6 strangers in a motel. She flinches. It wasn't like that. What was it like, Laura? Help me understand how my wife of 24 years decides to become a courtesan for a weekend. Don't call me that. What should I call you? Because wife doesn't seem to fit anymore. She starts crying, the kind of tears that are supposed to make me feel guilty for being cruel. But I'm all out of guilt. I felt invisible, Dave. In this house, at work, everywhere. Like I was just going through the motions of being alive. And then, Beth showed me these stories online. These women who were taking control of their sexuality, exploring their desires. Beth showed you adult movie. She showed me possibilities, ways to feel powerful again. And getting pregnant by a diseased stranger makes you feel powerful? The tears stop. Her face hardens into something I don't recognize. You have no idea what it's like to be married to someone who's given up on everything, who fixes broken appliances at 3 in the morning but can't fix his own life. At least I wasn't screwing around behind your back. No, you were just slowly dying in front of me. Do you know how depressing it is to watch someone you once loved turn into a maintenance man for his own existence? The words hit like physical blows, because there's truth in them, and truth hurts worse than lies. So this is my fault. This is nobody's fault. It just is. The baby will be taken care of. By who? Because I'm pretty sure it's not mine. She stands up, and for a moment I see the lawyer in her, cold, calculating, ready for battle. We'll figure it out. No, Laura, you'll figure it out. I'm done. What does that mean? It means I'm not paying for your mistakes anymore. Medical bills, legal fees, whatever this costs, it's on you. Dave, be reasonable. Reasonable, I laugh. And it sounds like breaking glass. I've been reasonable for 24 years. I've been the irresponsible one, the reliable one, the one who fixes everything while you and Beth plan your next adventure. I'm done being reasonable. She leaves without another word. An hour later, I hear her car start and drive away. That evening, Beth emerges from her room long enough to raid the refrigerator. She's got her phone out, filming herself eating leftover Chinese food. Making content? I ask. She jumps. Jesus, Dad, you scared me. What's the story going to be? Misunderstood daughter stands by her empowered mother? You wouldn't understand? Try me. She sets down her phone, and for a second she looks like the little girl who used to help me fix things around the house. Mom was dying in this marriage, Dad. Anyone could see it. So, you decided to eliminate it for her. We decided to save her. By turning her into a courtesan. By helping her remember she's a woman, not just your wife. The casual cruelty of it takes my breath away. When did you start hating me so much? I don't hate you, Dad. I pity you. She goes back to her room, leaving me alone with the wreckage of everything I thought I knew about my family. That night, I don't sleep. I plan. Tuesday morning brings a text from my buddy, Mike Henderson, my neighbor, my golf partner for 15 years. The guy I've helped move furniture and fix cars and weather 2 divorces. Need to talk. Coffee? We meet at Denny's, the kind of place where conversations go to die. Mike looks uncomfortable, fidgeting with his coffee cup like it might explode. Dave, I heard about Laura. Heard what? About the hospital, the situation. I study his face. From who? Beth posted something online about how you're not being supportive during a difficult time. My daughter's social media strategy is already in motion. What exactly did she post? Mike pulls out his phone, scrolls through TikTok. The video shows Beth in our kitchen, tears streaming down her face. My mom made a mistake, she's saying to the camera. She was trying to find herself, to feel alive again after years of being ignored and taken for granted. And instead of supporting her, my dad is punishing her for being human. He's refusing to help with medical bills, calling her names, making everything about his hurt feelings instead of her healing. The video has 12,000 views and climbing. Mike, you know me. You know I wouldn't. Dave, I've known you for 15 years. But this, he gestures at the phone. This is pretty damning. She's lying. Is she? Because from where I sit, it looks like your wife made a mistake, and you're making her pay for it. A mistake? I lean forward. Mike, she cheated on me with 6 different men in a motel room. She's pregnant with some stranger's baby and infected with God knows what. That's not a mistake, that's a choice. Mike's expression doesn't change. People make bad choices when they're unhappy. So this is my fault. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying maybe there's more to the story than you're seeing. What story? That I'm such a terrible husband that my wife had to screw half of Camden to feel better about herself? Jesus, Dave, keep your voice down. But I'm past caring about volume. You want to know the real story, Mike? My daughter encouraged this. She set it up, arranged it, probably filmed it for her social media followers. My wife didn't stumble into infidelity. She was recruited into it by our own kid. Mike stands up, throws money on the table. I think you need to get some help, Dave. Professional help. I need help. This level of anger isn't healthy, and the things you're saying about Beth are true. Are the words of a man who's having a breakdown. He leaves me sitting there, surrounded by the breakfast crowd, who are all pretending they weren't listening to every word. That afternoon, I get a call from Tom Brennan, my best friend from college, my best man, the godfather to Beth when she was born. Dave, we need to talk. Let me guess. You saw Beth's video. I saw it, and I talked to Laura. Did you now? She's scared, Dave. She says you're not the man she married. She's right. The man she married was a sucker. Listen to yourself. This isn't you talking. This is exactly me talking. For the first time in 24 years, this is me actually saying what I think instead of what everyone wants to hear. Laura made a mistake. Why does everyone keep calling it a mistake? Mistakes are accidental. This was planned, executed, and celebrated. The only mistake was getting caught. She's trying to make things right. By lying to her followers about what happened. By painting me as the villain for not wanting to pay for her STD treatments. Tom's quiet for a long moment. Maybe you should consider that there might be some truth to what she's saying. Which part? The part where I'm an emotionally unavailable husband, or the part where I'm punishing her for being human? Both, maybe. The betrayal hits like a physical blow. Tom, you've known me for 25 years. I have, and I've watched you turn into someone who's given up on life. Laura's not wrong about that. So, she was justified. I'm not saying justified, I'm saying understandable. Get freaked, Tom. Dave, I hang up. By evening, I've lost 3 more friends. Word spreads fast in our circle, and Beth's video is making the rounds. The narrative is simple. Controlling husband punishes wife for moment of weakness, refuses to support family during crisis. It's a good story, clean, sympathetic, easy to understand. It's also complete BS. Vince calls around 9 p.m. How you holding up, buddy? Everyone thinks I'm the a-hole. Of course they do. Your daughter's got a gift for propaganda. My best friends won't talk to me. Fair weather friends aren't friends at all. These weren't fair weather friends, Vince. These were guys I've known for decades. And they turned on you the second things got complicated. That tell you something? It tells me that 24 years of being the reliable guy, the one everyone could count on, means nothing when the narrative shifts. I've got more information, Vince continues, about the parties. I'm listening. This wasn't just about your wife exploring her sexuality. Beth was recruiting other women, married women mostly. She's got a whole social media presence built around liberating suburban wives from their boring marriages. What kind of presence? Private Instagram, invite only. She calls it Awakening Women or some such crap. She documents the process, finding unhappy wives, convincing them to cheat, filming their transformations. My blood turns to ice. She filmed Laura. She filmed everything. And Dave, she's got a following. Thousands of women watching these videos, getting inspired to blow up their own marriages. Jesus Christ. Your daughter's not just a participant in this. She's the ringleader. She's monetizing marital destruction. I hang up and sit in the dark, thinking about the little girl who used to help me fix broken things. Somewhere along the way, she learned to break them instead, and she's very, very good at it. Wednesday morning, I drive to Beth's college. The campus is all red brick and ivy-covered dreams, the kind of place that costs more per year than I used to make. Laura's law firm salary made it possible. My engineering job made it sustainable. Not anymore. I find Beth in the student union, holding court with a group of her friends. She's animated, gesturing with her hands, probably telling them about her latest social media success. Beth, we need to talk. She looks up, and I see the calculation in her eyes. Her friends, young women who look like they've never had a real problem in their lives, watch with the kind of anticipation that comes with witnessing drama. Dad? What are you doing here? Having a conversation with my daughter, privately. I'm in class. No, you're not, and we're talking now. One of her friends, a blonde with the kind of confidence that comes from never being told no, speaks up. Sir, she doesn't have to go anywhere with you. I turn my attention to her. And you are? Madison, Beth's friend. Well, Madison, this is a family matter. So, unless you're family, you can shut the F up. Madison gasps. Beth's other friends pull out their phones, ready to document whatever happens next. Dad, you're embarrassing yourself. I'm embarrassing myself, I laugh, and it echoes off the union's high ceiling. Beth, honey, I haven't even started. I pull out my own phone, open the private Instagram account Vince found. Beth's face goes white. Awakening Women, I read aloud. Helping suburban wives break free from the chains of boring marriage. Featured this week, my own mother's transformation from housewife to goddess. Beth lunges for my phone. I pull it back, continuing to read. Watch as Laura discovers her true power through sexual liberation. See how one weekend changed everything. Follow her journey from repressed wife to empowered woman. The students around us are recording everything. Good. Let them. You monetized your mother's infidelity, I continue. You turned our family's destruction into content. You've got 12,000 followers watching your mother screw strangers, and you're charging them for the privilege. Dad, stop. Oh, I'm just getting started. Madison, did you know that your friend here has made over $50,000 this year convincing married women to cheat on their husbands? Did you know she's got a whole system worked out? Identify the target, gain their trust, introduce them to the lifestyle, document their fall, profit from the content? Madison looks at Beth with new eyes. Is that true? Beth's mask slips. It's not like that. It's exactly like that. I scroll through more posts. Here's Mrs. Patterson from down the street. Here's Sarah Chen from the PTA. Here's Jennifer Walsh from Mom's Book Club. All of them awakened by my daughter. All of them now starring in her little adult movie empire. You're twisting everything, am I? Because according to your own posts, you've helped destroy at least 30 marriages in the past year. You've turned infidelity into a business model. The crowd around us has grown. Students, faculty, people with phones and shocked expressions. And the beautiful part, I continue, is that you convinced each of these women that it was empowerment, that cheating on their husbands was actually a form of self-actualization. You turned them into hookers and made them thank you for it. Stop calling them that. What should I call them? Your mother screwed 6 men in one night for the entertainment of your followers. What's the technical term for that? Beth starts crying. Real tears this time, not the performed grief of her videos. You don't understand. I understand perfectly. You're a hunter. You find vulnerable women and you exploit their unhappiness for profit. You destroyed your own family for content. I turn to her friends, who are staring at Beth like they've never seen her before. Ladies, meet the real Beth Mitchell, social media entrepreneur, marriage destroyer, daughter of the year. She turned her own mother into a courtesan and filmed it happening. And tomorrow, she'll probably make a video about how her toxic father confronted her on campus because everything is content when you're a sociopath. I walk away, leaving Beth sobbing in the middle of the student union while her friends back away from her like she's contagious. By the time I get home, the videos are already online. #ToxicDad is trending, but so is #BethExposed. And that hashtag is growing faster. Laura's waiting in the kitchen, laptop open, watching the footage of my campus meltdown. You destroyed her, she says quietly. She destroyed us first. She's our daughter. She was our daughter. Now she's a stranger who happens to share our DNA. Laura closes the laptop. The college called. She's been suspended pending investigation. Good. Dave, she's 22 years old. She made mistakes. She made choices, calculated, profitable choices. She turned our marriage into a business opportunity. So you decided to ruin her life. I decided to tell the truth. If that ruins her life, maybe her life deserved to be ruined. Laura stares at me like I'm a stranger. What happened to you? I grew a spine. You grew cruel. Same thing, apparently. That evening, Tom calls. My former best friend, my former best man, the man who's known me longer than anyone except my parents. Dave, I saw the videos. Which ones? The ones where I expose my daughter's business model or the ones where she paints me as a misuser? Both? And I owe you an apology. Do you? I had no idea about the Instagram account, about what she was really doing. But you were ready to believe I was the problem. I was. And I was wrong. Yes, you were. Dave, I'm sorry. I should have listened to you. You should have trusted me. 25 years of friendship, and you threw it away because a 22-year-old made a convincing TikTok video. I know, I screwed up. You did. Is there a way to fix this? I think about it. About 25 years of friendship, about being best man at his wedding, about all the history we share. I don't know, Tom. I really don't know. But even as I say it, I know the answer. Some bridges, once burned, can't be rebuilt. Trust, once broken, doesn't heal clean. The friends who turned on me in my darkest hour aren't friends at all. They're fair-weather acquaintances who were never really tested until now. And they all failed the test. Thursday morning, I wake up to find that hash Beth exposed has gone viral. Someone, probably one of the women whose marriages she destroyed, leaked the full contents of her private Instagram account. Thousands of videos, photos, and messages documenting her systematic destruction of suburban families. The internet, it turns out, doesn't like hunters who target married women. Beth's public accounts have been deleted. Her college email is bouncing, her phone number has been changed. She's in full damage control mode, but the internet is faster than reputation management. Laura finds me in the kitchen, reading the news coverage on my tablet. "She's getting death threats," she says. "That's unfortunate." "Dave, she's our daughter." "She's your daughter. I don't claim hunters." The FBI contacted her. They're investigating whether she violated federal laws with the Instagram account. I look up from my tablet. What laws? Something about interstate commerce and exploitation. Apparently, she was charging subscription fees for access to the private content. So she was running an adult movie business. She was helping women find themselves. She was selling videos of married women having sex with strangers. That's adult movie, Laura. Specifically, revenge adult movie designed to destroy families. Laura sits down across from me, looking older than her 45 years. What do we do? We? There's no we in this. You and Beth made your choices. Now you live with the consequences. She needs a lawyer. Then she should get one. With what money? Her accounts have been frozen. Not my problem. Dave, please, whatever you think of me, she's still your daughter. I close the tablet and look at my wife. Really look at her. The woman I married 24 years ago had integrity. She made mistakes, but she owned them. This woman sitting across from me is a stranger wearing Laura's face. My daughter died the day she decided to turn our family into content. The person living in her room is just someone who looks like her. You don't mean that. I mean every word. My phone rings. Vince. Dave, you need to see something. What now? Turn on Channel 7, the noon news. I grab the remote, flip to the local news station. The anchor, a perfectly coiffed woman with serious eyes, is in the middle of a story. Investigation into what authorities are calling a sophisticated marriage destruction scheme. 22-year-old Beth Mitchell, a student at Fairfield University, allegedly operated a subscription-based social media account that documented the systematic seduction of married women. Laura's face appears on screen, a screenshot from one of Beth's videos, pixelated but recognizable. According to sources close to the investigation, Mitchell would target unhappy wives, gain their trust, and then introduce them to what she called lifestyle parties, events designed to facilitate extramarital affairs. She would then document these encounters and sell access to the footage through her private social media accounts. The anchor continues. The scheme came to light when Mitchell's own father confronted her on the Fairfield University campus, exposing the operation to her fellow students. Federal investigators say they've identified at least 50 families that may have been targeted by the scheme. Laura's face has gone white. 50 families? That's just what they found so far, I say. The news story continues with interviews. Wives who thought they were being empowered, husbands who discovered their marriages had been targeted, children who found out their mothers were starring in an online adult movie. Mitchell faces federal charges including wire fraud, racketeering, and violations of interstate commerce laws related to the distribution of explicit material without consent. The anchor concludes. If convicted, she could face up to 20 years in prison. Laura starts crying. Real tears this time, not the manipulative kind. 20 years, she whispers. She earned every day of it. She's our baby. Our baby turned into a monster, and you helped her do it. The doorbell rings. Through the window, I see two people in suits. Federal agents, probably. Mrs. Mitchell? We're with the FBI. We'd like to ask you some questions about your daughter's activities. Laura looks at me, panic in her eyes. Dave, what do I do? You tell them the truth. All of it. Will you stay with me? I consider it. 24 years of marriage, and she's asking me to stand by her while she answers questions about our daughter's criminal enterprise. No. Dave, please. You made your choices, Laura. You participated in Beth's scheme willingly. You starred in her adult movie knowingly. You helped her destroy other families enthusiastically. Now you get to face the consequences alone. I grab my jacket and walk out the back door, leaving my wife to explain to federal agents how she became complicit in our daughter's crimes. That evening, I'm at Vince's office, a converted storefront downtown with frosted windows and a sign that reads, Torino Investigations. It's the kind of place where people come when their lives have fallen apart and they need someone to help them pick up the pieces. The feds want to talk to you too, Vince says, pouring whiskey into 2 glasses. I figured, you're not complicit in anything. You were a sufferer of the scheme, not a participant. Tell me something, Vince. How long have you known? Known what? About Beth's operation, about what she was really doing? Vince is quiet for a long moment. I suspected something was off when you first asked me to investigate. The sophistication of it, the way it was organized, it felt professional. But you didn't tell me. I told you everything I found. You told me Laura cheated. You didn't tell me she was being manipulated by our daughter into starring in an adult movie. Would it have changed anything? I think about it. Would knowing the full scope of Beth's operation have made Laura's betrayal easier to accept? Would understanding that she was being exploited have made the pregnancy and the STDs hurt less? No, I admit. It wouldn't have changed anything. Then I told you what you needed to know when you needed to know it. We drink in silence, watching the sun set over the city through the frosted windows. Somewhere out there, Laura is probably still answering questions. Beth is probably in federal custody. The 50 families they destroyed are probably trying to figure out how to rebuild their lives. And I'm sitting in a private investigator's office, drinking whiskey, and wondering how my life became a crime story. What happens now? I ask. Now you decide what kind of man you want to be going forward. What do you mean? You've got choices, Dave. You can be the sufferer, the poor husband whose family betrayed him. You can be the hero, the man who exposed a criminal operation and saved other families from being destroyed. Or you can be something else entirely. What else is there? Vince smiles, and there's something cold in it. You can be the man who wins. 2 weeks later, I'm standing in a packed courtroom watching my daughter plead guilty to federal charges. She's wearing an orange jumpsuit and shackles, looking younger and smaller than I've ever seen her. Laura sits in the front row, crying quietly. I'm in the back, watching like a stranger. The judge, an older woman with steel gray hair and no patience for BS, reads the charges. Wire fraud, racketeering, distribution of explicit material without consent, tax evasion on unreported income. The list goes on for 5 minutes. Miss Mitchell, do you understand these charges? Yes, Your Honor. And how do you plead? Guilty, Your Honor? The word echoes through the courtroom. Guilty. After months of manipulation, lies, and the sufferer playing, Beth Mitchell finally admits what everyone already knew. She's guilty. The prosecutor stands up, a young man with ambitious eyes and a perfectly pressed suit. Your Honor, the defendant operated a sophisticated criminal enterprise that targeted vulnerable women and destroyed dozens of families. She showed no remorse for her actions and continued her illegal activities even after being exposed. The government recommends the maximum sentence of 20 years. Beth's lawyer, a public defender who looks like he'd rather be anywhere else, makes a half-hearted plea for leniency. Young woman, misguided, product of broken home, blah, blah, blah. The judge isn't buying it. Miss Mitchell, you systematically exploited vulnerable women for financial gain. You destroyed families, traumatized children, and showed callous disregard for the human cost of your actions. This court sentences you to 15 years in federal prison, followed by 5 years of supervised probation. Laura collapses in the front row. Beth doesn't react at all. She just stares straight ahead, like she's already somewhere else. 15 years. She'll be 37 when she gets out, assuming good behavior. I feel nothing. No satisfaction, no sadness, no anger. Just a hollow emptiness where my love for my daughter used to be. Outside the courthouse, reporters swarm. The story has captured national attention. The suburban daughter who turned family destruction into a business model. Nancy Grace has done 3 segments on it. Dr. Phil wants an exclusive interview. I walk past them all without comment. Laura catches up with me in the parking lot. Dave, wait. I turn around. My wife, my soon-to-be ex-wife, looks like she's aged 10 years in the past month. What do you want, Laura? I'm pregnant with another man's baby. I'm probably going to be indicted as a co-conspirator in Beth's scheme. I've lost my job, my reputation, and my family. I have nothing left. And I'm asking for your help. My help. I know I don't deserve it. I know I destroyed everything we had, but I'm drowning, Dave. I'm completely alone. I study her face, looking for some trace of the woman I married. She's still in there somewhere, buried under layers of bad choices and selfish decisions. You want to know something funny, Laura? 6 months ago, if you come to me with any problem at all, I would have moved heaven and earth to help you. I would have bankrupted myself, worked 3 jobs, done anything to make your life better. I know. But you didn't want my help then. You wanted excitement, adventure. You wanted to feel alive. I was stupid. You were selfish. There's a difference. She starts crying again. Dave, please, I'm begging you. Beg someone else. I walk away, leaving her standing in the courthouse parking lot with nothing but the consequences of her choices. That evening, I'm cleaning out Beth's room. Laura moved out last week. She's staying with her sister while she waits to see if the feds are going to indict her too. The house is mine now, quiet and empty, and exactly the way I like it. Beth's room is a monument to narcissism. Selfies covering every surface, ring lights for filming, a closet full of clothes that cost more than most people make in a month. All of it paid for with blood money from destroyed families. I bag it all up for donation. Let someone else wear the clothes that exploitation bought. In her desk drawer, I find a notebook. Her handwriting, page after page of plans and schemes. Target identification, manipulation techniques, profit projections. She had it all mapped out, a business plan for destroying marriages. On the last page, there's a list of names. Future targets, women she hadn't gotten to yet. I recognize some of them. Neighbors, co-workers' wives, women from Laura's social circle. At the bottom of the list, in red ink, she's written, Phase 2, expand nationwide, franchise model? My daughter wasn't just running a criminal enterprise. She was planning to scale it up, turn it into a national operation. She wanted to destroy families coast to coast. I burned the notebook in the backyard fire pit, watching her plans turn to ash. My phone rings. Tom Brennan, my former best friend. Dave, I heard about the sentencing. 15 years. Jesus, how are you holding up? Fine. Listen, I know things have been difficult between us, but I was wondering if we could grab a beer sometime, talk things through. No, Dave, come on. We've been friends for 25 years. We were friends for 25 years, past tense. One mistake doesn't erase all that history. It wasn't one mistake, Tom. It was a choice. When I needed you most, when my world was falling apart, you chose to believe a 22-year-old sociopath instead of trusting me. That's not a mistake. That's character. I said I was sorry. Sorry doesn't fix broken trust. I hang up before he can respond. The next morning, I drive to Vince's office. He's waiting with coffee and a manila folder. Divorce papers, he says. Laura signed them yesterday. What did she get? Nothing. She waived all claims to marital assets in exchange for you not pressing charges for the money she spent on her empowerment trips. How much was it? $43,000. Hotel rooms, party fees, pills, clothes, travel expenses. She funded her own destruction with your money. I signed the papers without reading them. 24 years of marriage ended with a signature. There's something else, Vince says. The feds want to give you a reward. What kind of reward? Sufferer Compensation Fund, plus a bounty for exposing the scheme. Comes to about $200,000. Blood money. Clean money, you earned it. I take the check and walk out into the sunshine. The city looks different now. Brighter, cleaner, full of possibilities. For the first time in months, I feel something like hope. That afternoon, I'm at the gym working the heavy bag when a young woman approaches. She's maybe 25, pretty in an understated way, with intelligent eyes and a nervous smile. Excuse me, are you Dave Mitchell? Depends who's asking. My name is Sarah Chen. My mother was one of your daughter's sufferers. I stop punching. I'm sorry. Don't be. You saved our family. When you exposed Beth's operation, it stopped my mother from making the biggest mistake of her life. My parents are in counseling now, working things out. They're going to make it. That's good. I wanted to thank you and to ask you something. What? There are other women out there, other Beths running similar schemes. The FBI says it's becoming an epidemic. Social media hunters targeting married women. And I think you could help stop them. You've got experience now, connections with law enforcement. You could make a difference. I look at this young woman, Sarah Chen, daughter of one of the families my own daughter tried to destroy, and I see something I haven't seen in a long time. I see a future. What did you have in mind? A consulting business. Help families identify when they're being targeted, provide resources for recovery, work with law enforcement to shut down the operations. You want me to become a professional marriage saver? I want you to become the man who fights back. That evening, I'm sitting in my empty house, thinking about Sarah's proposal. The silence doesn't feel oppressive anymore. It feels peaceful. Clean. My phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. Dad, it's Beth. I'm allowed one phone call a week. I know you hate me, but I wanted you to know I'm sorry. I never meant for things to go this far. I stare at the message for a long time. My daughter, reaching out from federal prison, asking for forgiveness. I delete the message without responding. Some bridges are meant to stay burned. The next morning, I call Sarah Chen. I'm interested, I tell her. Let's talk. 3 months later, I'm standing in a conference room full of FBI agents, local police, and family counselors. On the screen behind me is a presentation titled Carnivore Social Media Schemes, Identification and Prevention. I'm wearing a suit that actually fits, speaking with confidence I didn't know I had, teaching law enforcement how to recognize the warning signs of marriage destruction schemes. In the audience, Sarah Chen takes notes and smiles encouragingly. After the presentation, Agent Martinez, the lead investigator on Beth's case, approaches me. Outstanding work, Mitchell. We've got 3 more operations in the pipeline, all based on intelligence you provided. Happy to help. There's something else. We think your daughter's scheme was part of something bigger. A network of operators, all using similar methods. How much bigger? National, maybe international. We're talking about thousands of families, millions of dollars in revenue. And you want my help tracking them down. You're the expert now. You've seen how these operations work from the inside. I think about Beth, sitting in her federal prison cell, probably planning her next scheme. I think about Laura, living with her sister, pregnant with a stranger's baby. I think about all the families destroyed by hunters like my daughter. When do we start? 6 months later, I'm testifying before Congress about the growing epidemic of social media marriage hunters. The hearing room is packed, C-SPAN cameras rolling, senators asking detailed questions about online exploitation schemes. Mr. Mitchell, says Senator Williams, in your expert opinion, what's the most effective way to combat these operations? Education and enforcement, Senator. Families need to understand how these hunters operate, and law enforcement needs the tools to shut them down quickly. And you believe your consulting firm can provide both? I know it can. In the past year, we've helped law enforcement shut down 15 separate operations and provided counseling resources to over 300 families, including your own? I pause, thinking about the question. My own family, what's left of it, is scattered to the winds. Beth in prison, Laura in hiding, me building a new life from the wreckage of the old one. Senator, my family was the first casualty of this epidemic, but it won't be the last unless we act. After the hearing, Sarah and I grabbed dinner at a restaurant near Capitol Hill. How does it feel, she asks, being the face of marriage protection advocacy? Strange. 6 months ago, I was just a guy whose family fell apart. Now I'm supposedly an expert on social media predation. You are an expert. You lived through it. I survived it. There's a difference. Is there? Because from where I sit, it looks like you did more than survive. You turned your worst experience into a mission to help other people. I think about that, about the man I was, fixing garbage disposals at 3 a.m, ignored by his wife, manipulated by his daughter. About the man I am now, testifying before Congress, consulting with the FBI, building something meaningful from the ashes of everything I lost. Maybe you're right. I know I'm right. You want to know what I think? What? I think Beth and Laura did you a favor. They freed you from a life that was slowly eliminating you. That's a hell of a way to look at it. It's the only way to look at it. They showed you who they really were, and you chose to become someone better. That night, I'm back in my house. My house now, not our house, working on my laptop. I'm writing a book about my experience, about how to recognize and combat marriage predation schemes. The working title is The Garbage Disposal Revelation: How I Discovered My Family's Dark Secret. My phone rings. Unknown number. Dad? Beth's voice, calling from prison. What do you want? I heard about your business, about the congressional hearing, and I wanted to say I'm proud of you. The audacity of it takes my breath away. You're proud of me? You turned everything around. You made something good out of what happened. What happened? You mean when you turned our family into a criminal enterprise? I mean when we all learned who we really were. I know who you are, Beth. You're a hunter who destroyed dozens of families for profit. I'm your daughter. No, you're a stranger who happens to share my DNA. I hang up and block the number. Some relationships can't be salvaged. Some people can't be redeemed. And that's okay. A year later, I'm standing in the same courthouse where Beth was sentenced, watching as another social media hunter gets 15 years for running a marriage destruction scheme. This one targeted military wives, exploiting their loneliness while their husbands were deployed. Sarah's beside me, taking notes for our report to the Pentagon. That's number 23, she says. 23 operations shut down, over 1,000 families saved. Not bad for a guy who used to fix garbage disposals. I still fix garbage disposals. Fixed yours last week. She laughs. That's different. That was a favor, not a career. After the sentencing, we walk out into the sunshine. The city looks the same as it did 2 years ago, but everything else has changed. Dinner? Sarah asks. Can't. I've got a date. Anyone I know? Jennifer Walsh. Her husband left her after she got caught up in one of these schemes. She's been through counseling, figured out how she was manipulated. We're taking it slow. Good for you. What about you? Any prospects? I'm too busy saving marriages to worry about starting one. We part ways in the parking lot. Sarah heads back to the office to write her report. I drive home through neighborhoods I know by heart, past houses where families are struggling with the same problems mine faced. But now I'm part of the solution instead of part of the problem. At home, I check my email. 3 new cases: wives who think they're being targeted by social media hunters, husbands who've discovered their families are starring in online exploitation schemes, children who've realized their parents are being manipulated. I'll help them all, because I know exactly what they're going through. I know what it's like to discover that the people you love most have been lying to you. I know what it's like to watch your family fall apart in real time. And I know what it's like to build something better from the wreckage. My phone buzzes. A text from Jennifer. Looking forward to tonight. Thank you for being patient with me. I text back. Thank you for giving me a chance. Some bridges burn down, others get built from scratch. As I get ready for my date, I catch my reflection in the bathroom mirror. The man staring back at me looks nothing like the guy who was fixing garbage disposals 2 years ago. This man has purpose, confidence, hope. This man knows who he is and what he's worth. This man won. I put on my best shirt and head out to meet Jennifer, leaving behind the house where my old life died and my new life was born. Behind me, the garbage disposal hums quietly, working perfectly. Some things, it turns out, can be fixed after all.